Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your weekly reading. This is going to be for the week of the 8th going to the 14th of May. So I'm going to jump straight into it, see what's going on for you guys, okay? For Capricorn, please. The earth signs won the poll that I put up of who should go first. So you guys were going first anyway. So it's nothing new to you. All right. For Capricorn, please. I just instantly heard, like, here's to better days. Better days are ahead. So it's safe to say things are going to get better. I think you've been in a really uncomfortable situation for a while and you've just been dealing with it because you felt like you had to. And maybe because of your circumstances, you did have to. But this is saying that you're kind of elevating. I think you've come to a sense of clarity. But most importantly, like, you've learned a lesson about something, or whether you've realized it or not, maybe being in an uncomfortable situation or being outside your comfort zone, it was a lesson within itself. I kind of feel like you've pushed a barrier, you have become stronger, whether you realize it or not. There is something that you have gained from this, even if it's more patience, if it's more understanding. Like, there is something coming through here of you've gained something. Now things are starting to change. I do get that you're probably going to have to leave a situation or change something in your life that does kind of come across as quite big, but I'm going to clarify what I'm seeing, but I'm just picking up on something. The number 6 is going to be very important for you. So things are going to start to change to initiate a bigger change, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm going to carry on and pull the cards out for you, Capricorn, but I do sense that because of something that you've learned, because of something that you have gained, whether it's just the universe that is just applauding you for this and you don't even realize, things are changing. I do want to feel like saying, like, hold tight, because whatever it is that you're wanting, or whatever kind of change, because I do think this is like desired change is happening. You're going to be removed from a situation that you know is really bad for you, or that you have been sticking to, because again, I kind of feel like you're in a position where you kind of have to deal with something, and this is what you're being finally removed from. So this is really, really good. All right, for Capricorns, please. It could be like a job you've had to stick to because you kind of have to, even though you know you want to change it, you don't really know exactly how, but because you've stayed patient with something, or because I don't know what it is, like, you've learned something, now you're being taken out of that, because whatever it is you're right, something is no longer for you, even if it's a relationship, it could be a house, it could be an environment, it could be a friendship, it could be whatever. I'm just pulling up this energy of where you're right, you can feel this deep down, Capricorn, you're very intuitive, but you've had to stay flexible with something, you've had to stay kind of like balanced with something whilst something new comes in, and I do see that happening. We have the Tower card here, okay? So you notice something is falling apart or is going to fall apart. Capricorn, you're showing up with this Hermit energy. You do have this higher, like, connection to your higher self. You have this connection to your higher self, which is great. All right, overall energy, please, for Capricorn. Yeah, you have been stuck. Clarify this energy, please. Yeah, you're going to be very busy moving forward, but it's a good kind. It's coming with a new beginning. And let me just... Yeah. This is interesting. I mean, some of you, this could be like finally releasing a relationship that you have it's still been affecting you, even if it's not like around you. I think that there is someone in particular whose words is still haunting you, or who's, they've done something to you in a sense that it does still affect you to this day, but this is something that you are overcoming. Or this could be your own self gaining confidence, because I am seeing that too. All right, I'm going to kind of do this in a specific order, going from a little bit of this past energy I'm seeing here, because we have in the oracle deck for you, Capricorn, is imagine. And I love this card. It's like the judgment card to me, which means that you're going to new chapters. You're finally releasing something energetically, and on a soul level you are rising up here, which is really lovely to see, because the cards following just initiate this, this indicate this initiation. It indicates this really, big stage for you to finally let something go, to finally let something be in the old chapter, and you're rising up to this new one, which means on an energetic level, you guys, you are elevating, which is really lovely. You're releasing any of these like negative, low vibes, low emotions, low people, all this kind of bad vibration is finally removing itself. So that is really good, but it's only because you're rising up. These things don't really just go away. When we focus on something, we ruminate on something, when we're thinking about something, it's always going to be around us, even if we try so hard to move away from it. So there is this elevation that you're doing where you're no longer focusing on the negative, on the things below you. You're actually looking at where you want to be, and because of that, your focus on that is raising you up. That's what I'm seeing. So I like this. To kind of clarify this Imagine card in this new chapter, it is kind of showing me a little bit about what potentially you are releasing. The Nine of Swords is a very kind of low vibe card, because not only not only is it about fears and insomnia, it's kind of like the late nights and the worrying and panicking. It's the negative thoughts, it's the negative thinking. It is kind of the flashbacks. It is the kind of thought of being mocked, even if it's not the past that's haunting you. There may have been certain events that aren't really the ones coming to mind, but the impact of it is coming to you. So, for example, because it came out with the King of Wands, it could be a fire sign that you were dealing with, but this can be your energy. And I will tell you why in a second when I move forward, because there is a Queen of Wands in this deck too. So it could be a relationship, but it could be that side of yourself that you may feel like you've lost, because there is this combination, if it's not a person, and I will speak as if it is, of where there's just lack of confidence. You have the potential to be in this King of Wands energy, which is this creative, beautiful, passionate, ambitious energy, very motivated, very strong energy. And you have that, and you've been in that. But the Nine of Wands is indicating that there are certain fears that might be blocking that from coming through. If you felt a creative block, then it really just comes through as maybe some fears are getting in the way of you really shining out and being your authentic self. Or maybe it is negative beliefs that are blocking that, and limited beliefs of being mocked or ridiculed, or being embarrassed, or being ashamed of being successful, or being ashamed of being in the limelight, because this is kind of Leo energy with the King of Wands. All right. For those of you who resonate with it more as somebody else, if you were dealing with a fire sign, or somebody here with the King of Wands who was a little bit of like a player energy, or someone who was very full of themselves, can sometimes be the King of Wands, or someone who really loved power is what I'm picking up on here as well. The Nine of Swords is just this fear of this person that is coming through, but this is something that you're releasing, and it's no longer going to be haunting you. All right. So the Imagine card is you rising up and releasing these thoughts that are kind of lingering, because I'm not picking up that this person is still around you, unless they are, and this is what you know intuitively you need to remove yourself from. But this is leaving you, so this is a good thing. You're rising up. You're no longer being affected by somebody's words, or being affected by these negative, limited beliefs, and you are stepping more into this confident, fiery energy. And I think that's something that you've been needing or desiring. All right, is this ambition. So in the middle of your reading, I'm going to start with the Oracle deck. You have Flexible, Hey Capricorn, which is all about kind of adjusting, which is very similar to like King of Wands energy. So finally being able to adjust. This does bring in some discomfort. It kind of says like things are going to start changing around you. I always see this as like wind blowing, and this is asking for you to be flexible with it. These changes are happening for a bigger change that you desire. So these small things may not really be what you're asking for. It may raise thoughts and questions like, oh my god, like more things happening, like why is this happening? But it is kind of moving towards an even bigger change. So flexible, expect a lot of, not chaos, but expect a lot of change and a lot of movement that may not be very convenient to you. But they're asking you to be flexible because these changes are happening, so a bigger change can happen. Okay, so be flexible with it. Remain solid on one thing. That could be a goal, that could be something that you really do still enjoy, because I'm kind of picking up an energy for some of you that maybe there is one thing that is keeping you grounded and keeping you solid whilst everything else is kind of going crazy. Keep focusing on that, because whatever that is, it is going to blossom and grow, because this egg is going to hatch it. Whenever we see eggs, it's this new beginning, even if it's just a dream, a goal. But for some of you, it could be something that does keep you grounded in the present. Keep going with that and be flexible with the changes that are happening here, because that's going to really help you out in the future. All right, to kind of clarify that, the tarot cards that we do have in the middle here is the Eight of Swords, and that is going to be your main kind of thing for the week, is kind of trying to conquer this entrapped energy, this feeling of being stuck, this feeling of, not really knowing what is coming, and this blindfold and these ropes around her are very like stuck energy. It's very, claustrophobic kind of energy I'm picking up on, and sometimes that can really dampen that fire, when you're wanting to be ambitious, you're wanting things to change, you're wanting to put your passions, at work here or whatever it is, you're wanting this fiery energy, but you can't help but think about the fact that you're stuck and you're in a situation you don't like. And, these thoughts do kind of, we're all human, I'm sure we all understand that kind of feeling and emotion. This can actually make you feel more trapped than you actually are, because the Eight of Swords says there's always a solution, even when it's difficult, even if it's just the fact that we need to stay persistent with one thing and allow the rest to unfold. And that is something that I'm picking up on here. Because the fact is, she does have these swords around her. The fact that you're feeling fear or you're feeling that you're uncomfortable is true, because you are. You're in a tough situation. But don't limit yourself, and don't believe that you're stuck there forever and this is it. Like, don't allow your thoughts to become limited to just this one situation that you're in, because there is a lot of potential out there, and I am seeing that something is coming in for you, so we will go into that, don't worry. But the present, it can be very hard to think of positive things and of better things that are to come when you're really in a tough situation. So the Eight of Swords is coming through as something to try to tackle this week, and maybe within the next few weeks. It's not something that happens overnight, but it is paired with the Queen of Wands. So again, this could be a relationship that has ended here or is going through a really tough time. The Eight of Swords and the Queen of Wands coming through is kind of saying, again, that confidence needs to come through. And instead of it being in this King of Wands energy, maybe we're being told to be more of this divine feminine energy, which is still a very powerful energy. It shows strength, it shows courage still, but it's more about allowing things to flow and not forcing things, which is very similar to the flexible card. So it is a very big message here in your reading, is instead of trying to figure things out, what am I going to do? I need to do this and I need to do that. You're putting this pressure on yourself that's making you feel even more stuck, because it seems like in your situation, you can't do that just yet. So the feminine energy, and by the way, this was coming through when I was clarifying the Eight of Swords even more, was the Empress and the Ace of Cups. Very, very divine feminine energy, regardless of gender. We all have both energies inside us. It's just we can use them both to our advantage, whatever the situation is. And this is really calling for you to be in this flow state, which is what the divine feminine is about. It's a very soft stage where you're being very compassionate to yourself, compassionate to the situation, and understanding. So instead of rather trying to use force, you're using an understanding of your situation, loving yourself in the meantime, because the Ace of Cups is here and the Queen of Wands is coming through. Of giving yourself grace in a situation, because it kind of feels like the situation is going to solve itself. I don't think there's something that you physically need to do right now. So I kind of want you to chill out a little bit, Capricorn. I know you guys can really be pressing on the accelerator when the handbrake is on. The universe has the handbrake and you're just trying to push the car forward, but they're saying, look, no, it's not going to work that way. I think you guys are going to go a different route than what you're anticipating, which is why they're asking you not to put that foot down on the accelerator just yet. Gain some clarity, gain some understanding, take the blindfold off. Don't move in fear, don't rush the process out of fear and panic of being stuck, and you need to just release yourself. This energy is coming through as like, okay, take the blindfold off, remove that fear. When you really address a situation, really look at where you're at and understand the situation, this is a better way to go. And plus, that was very deep, but I'm going to go in a message here that is really asking for you to really give yourself grace, and also look after yourself. I get this energy of you are glowing up when you remove yourself from this Eight of Swords energy, because Queen of Wands and the Empress is a very beautiful energy. It's very, very loving. So you can attract in a lot of love at this time if that's something that you're wanting and desiring. But some of you could have some very positive feminine influence around you, and particularly picking up two people. This could be family members and picking up maybe a sister and a mother, but some of you, this could just be two really good friends. Again, it's not really on gender, it really just is on energy here of this. People who might be inspiring to you at this time could be coming in to help you here and to give you some really loving advice. So it's up to you to maybe let something go, to free yourself from a very stuck energy. It just feels like it's more mental and internal, even though your physical is also just as complicated. But there is a solution to this, even if it's just really looking at the situation and slowing down with it so you can really see the full picture and how you can move forward in the best way. So yeah, there's this loving self-love energy. I love this. All right, Capricorn, I do have just a very quick message only for a few of you. Don't be jumping into just anything for the sake of trying to, I think we had this for the Capricorns before, or somebody had this message. Don't jump into something out of fear, just to get rid of the old, Instead, they want you to kind of embrace this new energy and really feel the new energy, because I think that's what you're wanting deep down. Otherwise, you're just going to feel stuck in the next thing because you didn't think it through and we're not really feeling it. They want you to feel it before you jump into it. So anyway, the next card we have is regeneration. So this is that big change. 4 and a 6 is that 10 here, which we actually have the flexible being a 10. And what's interesting, 10 and 10 is 20, and that is what you have. But you're having the 20 first and then the 10s. So it's when you rise up on a spiritual level, on an emotional level. Seems to be when 2 endings or 2 chapters complete themselves, all right? And it is coming through as some adjustments. It's coming through as some small inconvenient changes and releasings for this big change, which feels very physical. Now, regeneration is kind of like Scorpio energy, so it is transformation, it is endings for new beginnings. Whenever this card comes through, this is also to do with you. I think you're changing as well, but this is on a very big level. This is removing any negative influence, and sometimes this is coming from your environment here, Capricorn, so just pay attention to certain people or just environments and things in general that are around you. That you might be doing or that just might be impacting you somehow, because you are going to be taken away from that. And the regeneration card is like, you're this tree. I always say this, you are this tree, and they're really pulling you from the roots into a new location, into a new energy. So you could be relocating for a lot of you, but for others of you, and that could even be in jobs, relationships, you're removing yourself from something that has been getting to you, to be in something a lot better. And to clarify that, we had some very beautiful cards. The first one is the Ace of Wands, which does actually look like that tree being replanted if you think about it. So some of you could definitely, just eating my hat now, just fell into my mouth. Definitely could be relocating. Some of you could be abroad or across the river here, whatever they mean by that. But this is also just passion. It's that fiery energy that you've been really wanting. It seems to be coming through in this feminine way, all right? So whatever that means. The Ace of Wands, new beginning, passion, motivation, drive. It's really beautiful stuff. You then have the Two of Pentacles. So this is where I was saying before that you're going to find yourself being very busy. But it's only because you're starting fresh, you're starting new. You could be balancing 2 jobs. You're balancing 2 things. You could just be really motivated to do more. All right, because this Two of Pentacles is a juggling act, she's going back and forth, trying to balance herself, trying to fit things into this new picture here. Just pay attention and make sure that you are addressing your emotions, but that's a very good energy to have and a very good busy to have. And then you have the Seven of Wands. So even though this change is going to be very powerful and it does cause, again, it's calling for you to be a little bit flexible with this energy. Make sure you are going with the balance here, because you might need to focus more on one thing and then go back to the other. Like I'm just seeing this seesaw energy, You're the Seven of Wands, which says, regardless of everything that kind of is going against you at this time and the things you're having to tackle alone or in general in your life, you will be you will overcome it and you will be successful. When your brain just tries to much too much that you're thinking about. Yeah. You will overcome whatever this is, and despite the odds, you will be successful, okay? So that's amazing. I just want to pull one more card out for what this new beginning is. But it seems to be given to you. You have the Hermit wanting to come out. And the Strength card. So Leo, Virgo energy. But this is again because you were really in touch with your higher self. I feel like you saw this coming. You knew a change was coming. And this could just be something you're trying to manifest, because as you can see, the Hermit is using hope, it's using the Star and the Strength card. So you really stayed courageous. A lot of you have been stuck in this for a long time, or stuck in this energy for a long time. You're really finally, I think maybe the lesson here was strength. You had to overcome something using a lot of strength. You had to stay strong with something. You've gained a lot of wisdom with this. So I'm kind of picking up here that this is your karma, because we have the Justice card here. So this could be legal situations, or something that does require something legal eventually, or a contract, or whatever. But it seems to be your karma from the strength that you've had. But yeah. All right. Let's pull you some more cards with the Tea Leaf Tarot. Get some random messages for you, for Capricorn. Interesting, very specific. Some of you could be dealing with an older man, or you could be the older man here. We have dealings, a relationship with an older man, specifically somebody with blonde, gray, white hair, or a fair complexion. All right, so that's coming through. Let's get some more for you. All right, pay attention to your health is coming up, and just get one more. Thank you. And we have victory, V for victory in some endeavor. We have chair, okay, someone is leaving your life, or you could be leaving theirs, okay. And we have rabbit. This says too much concern with sexual matters here. And this was to pay attention to your health, okay. And I did say that, don't jump into anything just to forget the old, just to move away from it, because I don't think it's going to help. We have a beautiful animal spirit card coming for you, and it's the Sandpiper spirit. This is to be playful, which is really nice. And maybe that's what that divine feminine energy is. Instead of knuckling down and being so harsh on yourself, to push forward, action, is to kind of enjoy the rain a little bit, as much as you can at least. Because I think that brings in an energy that you know everything's going to be okay. When we're panicking and trying to take action and trying to move forward, even when the universe is not allowing you to, and pressing on that accelerator, that can really drain you. And I think that communicates to the universe that you're not feeling safe, you're not feeling like you're trusting in where things are going for you, which I understand. As a human being, I get it. But it's almost like the universe wants you to be playful with your current energy. Be flexible with it. Don't, make sure you try to have fun in some areas, even though other areas are really disappointing to you or really keeping you stuck, which can be very saddening. It can be very disheartening. But there also need to be playful, because that communicates that you know everything is going to be okay, even though you're going through it at the moment. So the universe is kind of just saying that there is a different way to do this, and one way you can manifest a lot of abundance from, and a lot of victory. But this is amazing for you, okay? All right, Capricorn, I love you guys. I wish you all the best. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate every single one of you. I love you, and I will see you guys next time.